Hello, welcome back to Fix It with Feng Shui Q&A, where I answer your Feng Shui questions. So if you have a question, comment below with your question. It can be energy, it can be something specific Feng Shui, but ask away. If you feel shy about asking the comments, which lots of you do, go over to my DMs on Instagram or Facebook and ask there, or email me, jill@jillethier.com. If you have not already got on my email list, head over to jillethier.com. There'll be a pop-up, get on the list so that we can be connected there as well as here. So I got asked a great question about how do I Feng Shui outside, or can I Feng Shui outside? And I'm like, yes, you can Feng Shui outside. So if you're following along over on Instagram Reels, you'll find out that the front entrance is somewhere where we actually do a lot of Feng Shui cures inside and outside our front entrance to get the energy flowing, to attract energy into the home. So those front entrance cures are something that you'll do outside. So if you want to know what one of them is, comment below with abundance and I'll send you a free guide, because the front entrance is actually one of our money energy areas, and so there's a few things you can do right away. But we can also, which is really exciting and fun to do, is lay the Bagua map on your yard. And so there's a few ways to do that. You can lay it on your whole yard from the street up. You can lay it on your front yard and your backyard separately. If you don't have a yard, but you have a back deck, you lay it on your back deck separately. So there's lots of ways to Feng Shui. And the beauty part about focusing on Feng Shui in your backyard is that back portion of your yard, or that deck off of your apartment condo, actually represents your future. I don't know if you guys knew that, but the front yard represents the past, the middle third of your yard represents the present, and the backyard represents the future. Just like in your home, the basement represents the past, the main floor represents the future, or represents the present, and the upper floor represents the future. If you live in an apartment condo and there's just one main floor, it's all just represented within your home in that same sort of third representation. But when we focus on the backyard or the back deck, we are really focused on the energy of our future. And so you actually lay the Bagua map on your backyard from that entry into your backyard from your house. It's like laying the Bagua map based on your front door. And if you've taken Feng Shui 1, 2, 3 and you've got the guidebook, you will know how to lay that Bagua map just by me telling you that. And that's why it's so important that you guys go and get that guidebook. Is everything that I share here with you on an Instagram Reels, if you have the basis of that Feng Shui knowledge from that guidebook, you will be able to add the cures even faster and easier, because you will completely understand how to lay the Bagua map on your space. So link below, check that out. It's time to get it if you haven't already. But in the backyard, where we're gonna focus on, in the same way that we focus on our home, is the first thing you're gonna do in your backyard or your back deck is you're gonna declutter and you're gonna clean up the space. So get rid of anything dead, get rid of anything you don't love, get rid of anything broken. And this immediately lifts the energy in your home, but also outside in your space too. So if there's some dying plants, if there's some broken things on the go, if there's a bunch of clutter, we're definitely gonna focus on cleaning that up. If you have a storage shed in the backyard, wherever that is, it's impacting you. It's kind of like your garage, is it impacts you sometimes more than other parts, but the storage shed is impacting you. If it's in the back right corner of your backyard, that's your relationship area, we need to do something about that, because it actually represents somebody leaving, because it's like another little house to go to. So we want to hang a Feng Shui crystal in that storage shed. So a 30mm Feng Shui crystal, look them up, Google them. They have tons of facets. They're like the disco ball for energy. And then add the color pink in that shed too. Like, let's get that energy sorted out and definitely get that shed cleaned up and taken care of too. Okay, so if you are like redesigning your backyard, don't put a shed in the back right corner. Not a good idea, okay? We're gonna take a look, and I'm gonna touch on a few of the main energy areas that I got asked about like the most in the home. So we're gonna talk about those in your backyard space too, but it's important to get all the energy flowing. So when we Feng Shui the backyard or the back deck, what we're doing is we're adding the main color and the main element. So in the home, we have a primary color and a main element, but there's also secondary colors and building elements, and we add all of those in our space on the main floor, and then a portion of those in the bedrooms and the offices as well. But in the backyard or the back deck, whichever you're Feng Shuiing, you're going for the primary color and the main element. We're taking a look at it. So let's do abundance, because I get asked about money energy all the time, because it makes the world go round. So when you're standing looking into your yard, right, back into your backyard, or when you're standing about to step onto your back deck, that back left corner of that space, same as in your home, is the abundance area. So add the color purple and add the element of wood. And so for me, because I live in a climate that has winter and summer, what I do is I focus more on feng shuiing the bigger components of adding the colors and elements during the summer, because not everything can stay outside in the winter. But when we redesigned our backyard, I made sure to choose things that element-wise really worked in those areas, so it's just got a good vibration all year. But you're choosing and adding the color purple and the element of wood. So how do you do that? Well, plants. Obviously. How about purple plants? Those work really well. So in other backyards, what I've done is I love lilac bushes. They take me back to going to my grandmother's farm. And so I pick purple lilac bushes, and all of a sudden I have the color and the element all in one in the abundance area ready to go. Okay, the other area I get asked a lot about is the relationship area. So that back right corner, whether it's on the deck or on in the backyard. And so what is the element there? Well, the element's earth and the color is pink. So add the color pink, add the element of earth. So earthen decor, earthen pots, put things in pairs. I like to personally take 2 rose quartz, and it's a smaller energy cure, but I love rose quartz because I think it's a powerful gemstone, and I always bury them in our backyard in the relationship area because I think that's just a beautiful nod to the energetics of what that is. But placing things in pairs, adding the color pink, and so what do we have in our back area now is I do have some plantings there, and wood energy is not great in an earth energy area, but because it's landscaping, I chose 2 of the same plant, and I chose a plant that's pink. And then to reduce that wood element, I've added a ton of metal in that area because we know that wood doesn't really work well in an earth energy area. But earthen decor, the color pink. And then the purpose area is one that I get asked a lot too, because it's your work, right? And your life and the things that you do and the purpose and your passion. And so you're adding the color black and you're adding the element of water. And that's in the front third in the middle. So when you're standing looking into your backyard, it's the front third in the middle. When you're standing looking onto your deck, it's the front third in the middle. And I love a water fountain. It's the same. It's money, energy flow. And I've talked about this lots in reels. And here is that, you know, flowing water equals flowing money. And so adding a fountain in that area is perfect. Adding some sort of other water feature is perfect. Adding something black. So if you have pots of plants there, like just make it a black pot, right? Like it's super simple. Don't overcomplicate adding the colors. It doesn't need to look like wild and crazy. It can also all be hidden, right? And then you're adding the element of water. So that's anything glass, that is literally water. Anything crystal. So just be creative with how you're going to add that element in that area. And then the middle is the well-being area. So the middle of your backyard and the middle of your deck. And sometimes the middle is the hardest because, like in my backyard, the middle is literally the middle. Like, what do you put there? So the element is earth and the color is yellow. And so what happens with the well-being area in your home, and then when we feng shui other rooms or the yard or the deck, is if you have feng shuied every other piece of the Bagua map, so all the other 8 sections, right, around, they all touch the well-being area. So once you have those balanced with the colors and elements, you actually balance the middle. And so what I do in the backyard, especially if it's like in the middle and it's just all grassy, is I bury some gemstones that align with health and well-being. So I like selenite for that. I'll use sometimes quartz. Sometimes I'll use some sort of yellow stone, and I'll just bury them in the ground, let the grass grow over them, knowing that they're there, and that's healthy energy. If you have a spot where you can add a pot with some yellow flowers or something else yellow in the area, like go for it, or earthen decor, because sometimes in your deck, that's an area that you can play with a little bit more. But it is about being creative, you know, and when we're looking at adding feng shui on in the backyard or the back deck, and even in bedrooms and stuff in our home, we always know that we have this beautiful basis of the main floor of our home already really feng shuied. So all of these other pieces are advanced feng shui, but they just add more energy into the situation, which means it adds more energy into your life and it supports your personal energy too. So that's why it's so key to get your main floor feng shuied, and that's what the guidebook is for. So check it out below. It is well worth the minimal investment it is, because you'll be able to use it over and over and over again in whichever home that you choose to live in, and as you're wanting things to change in your life. So if you have any questions about feng shui for outside, that's a very quick synopsis of a fairly significant topic, let me know. But begin starting to think about how you can feng shui your back deck or your backyard, to support the energy for your future, and to use, you know, Feng Shui as a way to get the energy flowing so that it not only feels good out there, but the energy is working for you instead of against you. So ask questions below. I'll see you in the next episode.